we select draft day as our next adventure. And with draft day drawing near, hey, we had to select draft day in our first round in this year's draft because it is time to go over, well, I think you've guessed it by now, draft day. And yes, as you can clearly see, I am ready and set for draft for my Jets to draft and screw up this season because let's face it, they're probably not going to do as well as they ever did back in the day. But yes, Draft Day, interesting story, interesting plot line, interesting characters, all around, and a very interesting movie. Now, despite of what you may think, it is not based on a true story. And that being said, however, it is based on what can actually happen during an NFL draft. It's actually very interesting process I found, and I was actually happy to finally see a film that to go through uh, these types of situations, because owners, coaches, they all have very interesting jobs during the off season, and to see what they actually do uh, during that time is very interesting to me. I've always liked to, if you know me, I like to know the unknown until it's not unknown. So it's kind of explanatory there. I mean, to listen and to watch what goes on during the in a war room. Not to mention what's being said in those phone calls, the players take. I mean, I can gather what they're saying. I can guess, but I'd probably be a little bit off. It's amazing as the draft is literally around the corner. What what I would do to be in any of those war rooms to just listen and watch them like yell and scream and strategize. It's amazing to me to watch these guys. I've watched the draft at least almost every year in the past decade, and I have never been more intrigued about this process that I've ever been. Um, it's actually, for those who don't know, a war room is the conference room that all the coaches to the owners sit and argue, who to take and they strategize on what to do during this draft, like who they're going to talk to, what teams need this, what teams need that. It's actually a very interesting process, and this is what I really loved about this film. It showed what this day actually means. What it actually means to these kids. Another interesting part about this film is that it actually take takes place within 2 days before the draft, and then they basically go through the last few minutes, or actually I think the last hour or so, or 45 minutes is the actual draft, and it's actually very interesting. It basically circles around Kevin Costner's character, and he's the principal owner of the. I'm sorry, he's the GM of the Cleveland Browns, which was very interesting because that they used the Cleveland Browns because, well, sorry Cleveland, but they suck. You have really horrible sports teams. Let's just face that. It's actually very interesting to know, and if you don't watch any NCAA, uh, it's actually very interesting. I actually find it how it's very funny how to see them run and scramble and yell and again strategize to see what is actually going on during this time period. And I fucking love this time of year. It's springtime. People are getting ready for football. Baseball is still going on. Now, if you don't watch any NCAA sports, it's okay. Some networks don't really broadcast, your favorite teams. It happens. But this was actually very satisfying. With the way it was done with this film. I wasn't. It just wasn't about the draft. It was actually, like I said, it was primarily focused on one man, Kevin Costner's character. He's dealing with his father's death, his girlfriend who he actually works with, and then not to mention his mother, and having the number one pick in the draft, and teams are calling him. It's actually very funny to watch, and it's actually very fun to watch. The which was what I was actually kind of looking for in this film. I love I love football and I love the draft focus, but the best part was that the central main focus was Sonny, Kevin Costner's character, and his problems with the first pick of the draft. As a fan of football, I know I probably said this already, but I was very quite content with this film. You know, not to mention adding some great casting talent to the dais. You know, was great choicings. You have Kevin Costner, Jennifer Garner, Chadwick Boseman, who's actually making a huge break for fame right now. The list goes on. And you know, since it's a sports-based film, of course you have to have you need some athletes and ESPN talent. You have Deion Sanders, Anthony Rizzo, Aaron Goldhammer, John Gruden, Mel Kiper, and of course the all-powerful Chris Berman. You know, I'm sold just by that alone, and I enjoyed myself. I guess I'm gonna recommend it, especially if you're a football fan. If not, good luck trying to figure everything out. You know, unless you bring somebody who actually is a fan of football, which is fine. No, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes, but it's going to be a little bit hard if you don't understand what's going on. You know, it happens. You know, you just won't be able. My problem. The thing is with movies is that if you don't have a general understanding of what's going on, you're not going to enjoy it as much as you think. Even though you see the trailers, you know it's going to be awesome. It may look awesome, but if you don't have a general understanding of who the characters are, what's going on, you're not going to have as much fun as you think. But I know what you should enjoy. You should enjoy my channel. That is right, football fans. My channel. Make sure you guys subscribe in my channel. In the description below. I am really bad today. Um, subscribe to my channel. You can do that below, and make sure you guys turn off all your devices, because Johnny Depp is everywhere, and that's all I'm going to say in the matter, so stay tuned for that.